Welcome to Five Things to Know, a Tax Talk Today exclusive. Today I'm joined by Ozlem Aydin. Ozlem is Director of the Tax Outreach, Partnership, and Education Office for the IRS. Ozlem, welcome to Tax Talk Today, where IRS representatives and tax industry leaders come together to share their knowledge and experience working with federal tax law. As a tax practitioner myself, I know how difficult it is keeping up with everything in federal tax law and the IRS. I rely on your office to help stay up to date with things. I want to ask you a few questions about the programs you're currently working on. Let's start off first with how can the IRS online tools help tax professionals work more efficiently and better support their small business clients?
Great question, Alan. Thank you for having me on. So small businesses, they rely on trusted advisors like yourself to navigate complexity. So you're not just preparing returns, right? You're guiding decisions, you're preventing problems. And our online tools, such as the business tax account, also referred to as BTA, is available to assist business taxpayers. We also have our Tax Pro account for tax professionals. And both these online tools, they effectively streamline how taxpayers and tax professionals are able to access information online in real time. They're able to make payments, manage balances. You're able to access client information in one place, track authorization statuses in real time, and the all-time favorite, reduce delays tied to paper processing.
I think that is everybody's goal here is to keep things moving efficiently forward. What do tax professionals need to understand about the new deductions for tips and overtime, and how might these changes impact businesses and employees, businesses and their employees?
Great question, Alan. The one big beautiful bill and the provisions have been a hot topic in this tax year. So specifically for the no tax on tips provision, a new deduction for certain tip income includes more than 70 qualifying occupations where workers receive tips in industries like food service, hospitality, personal services, and transportation. We do have a qualifying occupations list on irs.gov that provides the full occupation list. There's also a new deduction for certain overtime compensation. Individuals may deduct the portion of the qualified overtime pay that exceeds their regular rate of pay. For example, the half portion of time and a half. And to qualify, both tips and overtime must be properly reported and meet specific requirements. And I do want to emphasize these are deductions, not exclusions. All income remains taxable. And as always, we strongly recommend record keeping. So please check out the One Big Beautiful Bill provisions on irs.gov.
It's interesting. You mentioned the 70 tipped occupations, and it made me, after I've reviewed that a couple of times, it made me think, am I tipping everybody I'm supposed to be tipping? I didn't realize there were so many tipped occupations out there. What are the most common tax-related? I'm going to switch gears here a little bit. I'm sorry, I apologize. But what are the most common tax-related scams affecting small businesses right now, and how can tax professionals help their clients recognize and avoid them?
Fraud and scams are a growing challenge, unfortunately. They're not just headlines, they're real risks for your clients and even for practitioners themselves. So the role here is critical to spot issues early and report suspicious activity. Some of the common red flags, promises of large tax benefits with little risk or fees tied to refund amounts. Threats or urgent demands are a big one that we're seeing, in addition to unsolicited messages requesting personal information. So if someone is targeted, please remind them, don't click, don't reply, don't download. And you can report suspected fraud at irs.gov/submit a tip. And we always encourage protections like identity protection pins and IRS online accounts to maintain that safety net.
Does the IRS still have the phishing at irs.gov also that we can forward these emails to? So
Yes,
that's what
sir.
I've been using in the past. Great, great. Um, Now, How can the IRS tax debt help tool assist taxpayers who are behind on their taxes? And how should practitioners incorporate that into their conversations with their clients?
So when clients fall behind, clarity matters most, right? So that's where the IRS tax debt tool comes in. It's, helps taxpayers evaluate their situation and helps them to identify the best resolution option. It provides options after asking a few simple questions. It will assist the taxpayer towards options like payment plans, offering compromise, and other relief pathways depending on their situation. And that is also can be located in irs.gov under the Get Help with Tax Debt.
Great. Uh, Fortunately, we have not had, knock on wood, we won't have, but the reality is there's a good chance of a disaster coming along sooner or later. Natural disasters do strike. When the disaster does strike, what relief options are available and what role do tax professionals play in helping clients navigate recovery?
That's a great question, Alan. Unfortunately, we do see disasters in other parts of the country, and disasters don't follow a schedule, but relief does. So when a qualifying disaster is declared, the IRS does move quickly to provide support, and that includes automatic postponements for filing requirements and payment deadlines, clear communication about the available relief, and free access to tax records and documentation. So taxpayers that are in federally declared disaster areas, they automatically receive more time, giving them space to focus on what matters most, which is recovery. So they may also qualify for casualty loss deductions, which can be claimed on current or prior year returns, sometimes resulting in faster refunds. At the same time, I do want to highlight SBA also provides critical support through loans and grants. And as a practitioner, your role here is essential in helping clients understand what relief is available and helping them to navigate those recovery situations.
Well, this has been really great, Ozlem. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to hearing about some of your other programs soon. Thank you all for watching, and as always, it's been great learning with you. Be sure to join us again on an upcoming Tax Talk Today program.
Tax Talk Today, the tax show for the tax pro, is the innovative educational program presented in collaboration with the IRS, designed exclusively for today's tax practitioner.
There's various loss limitation rules we need to be aware of when we have a business activity.
Each program features in-depth panel discussions with key IRS executives and leading authorities from the tax practitioners community. Tax Talk Today features real-time interaction. Innovative and easy to use, Tax Talk Today is the only program that brings the IRS directly to you. Tax Talk Today can be viewed in large groups in the office or from the convenience of your home. To get continuing education credits for watching a program, purchase your CPE credits today. Tax Talk Today, the tax show for the tax pro.